It is like bringing the original Star Wars fans back to glory again.
And maybe you'll get some answers instead of being like, oh, they didn't answer my question in 40 minutes about what's going to happen this season. What the hell? It's like, well, they told you. You just had to wait a couple more episodes.
The group of people that support Rey is enough for that character to be successful. That's how big the fan base is. You know what I mean? What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Personified Fandom, episode 17. I'm Josh Meany, and joined with me, I don't have anything creative for his name today, but Mr. Mike Daggs is with us. Mike, how you doing?
Doing great. Prom Queen Wave.
Hey, and also joined with us, we got Mr. Ginty, Mr. Toke, Mr. Man of Many Names. How you doing?
Fucking fair 8, buddy. It's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday already. Thursday when you're watching this, I hope, if all goes well.
Yes.
It's been a week. This week's been a month.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we have a plethora of topics, and all in the same genre that you'll definitely notice as we go. But Mike, you want to kick us off with our first topic?
Yeah, so we have, like you said, a plethora of things, mostly Star Wars related. Like the show seems to be, it gets off in these kicks where we're like, we avoid it for a few weeks, but it comes back like the plague. So this week but we have an excuse this time. It was Star Wars Celebration.
Yes.
At the end of last week.
Yes,
so all this stuff got announced. You probably, after you're hearing this, you probably know about most of this stuff because, like I said, this all got released within like 2 days of each other. But the first thing is the Ahsoka show on Disney Plus coming in September? No, not September. I think
it was August.
I forget when the release date is. August. Oh, so it is that late. Okay.
Yeah, I believe it's a while
this
away.
Year, they just dropped the trailer. It looked fantastic. It looked so much kind of different from what we've been getting from Star Wars lately. Mainly just because seeing the Jedi again, seeing lightsabers. Yeah, I mean, I've been waiting for an Ahsoka related content forever. I know she popped up in Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett a few times. I was a big fan of the cartoon shows, even though I didn't think I was going to be, because when you're an adult, you don't really watch too many cartoons, but the Clone Wars show and Rebels was awesome. I loved it, and this trailer just harkens back to that. You got a lot of the Ghost crew returning, and I'm absolutely pumped for it. I didn't segue to one of you guys. You can just jump in.
Yeah, I feel like you said the perfect thing when you said, like, back to the lightsabers. Like, that's what I want to see. That's the shit that really gets me. Seeing the Jedi and the Sith. And then, yeah, seeing this character, Ahsoka, who a lot of people have followed for such a long time. I love the character. Rosario Dawson is absolutely phenomenal as Ahsoka. Everything about this just looks like a great time. It really does. I mean, it's such a great time to be a Star Wars fan right now. We're really getting a lot of the content that I feel a lot of us have been asking for a very long time. And it's here. It's here. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, exactly. I never saw the Rebels or the Clone Wars animated series, so I was not very familiar with all the characters, but obviously, as a big Star Wars fan that I am, I do know who Ahsoka is. Obviously, being Anakin's Padawan, and we know that she has her little thing and goes off and whatever. But seeing her in The Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and Rosario Dawson is fucking fantastic. She kills it. She looks she plays the part amazing. But watching this little trailer that we got to see, it is like bringing the original Star Wars fans back to glory again. You are getting the lightsabers. You are getting the Force movement. You're getting all the action and space and the ships and the shooting. And it's fucking heaven. It is heaven for Star Wars fans right now.
Yeah, one thing I noticed about this trailer is I almost feel like it should be called Rebels, because we just have so many characters from the Rebels show, which is also just, it's getting me, man. Like, every time they showed another Rebels character, I'm like, You got like they got Sabine Wren, they got Hera. I mean, she looks
Chop
was there too, and then we saw the back of Thrawn's head, and I lost it. Lost my mind. I mean, we didn't even get to see what his face looked like. Although I did get to see what his face looked like in a leaked picture from Star Wars Celebration of some of the footage they showed. And I do think he looks great. Lars Mikkelsen is his name.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Mads Mikkelsen's brother. So talent definitely runs in that family. But yeah, I can't wait to see him.
He's been in a few things that are pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we saw Zeb in the Mandalorian
yes, we did,
a couple episodes ago, and I was like, Leonardo meme. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so I mean we can kind of wrap these all together with kind of going over at least this part of the Star Wars talk. I guess we'll just continue like a big long chunk of it, because the new episode of the Mandalorian came out, and I'll let you start with that, Eric. What did you think about it, Tope?
I fucking loved it. I know it doesn't seem like the show has a general direction of where they're going yet, but there are these little stories and vignettes that are going on, and I think it's all starting to come together. Because obviously,
well, I mean, this last episode. I mean,
oh god, yes,
like put it on the track and like here it is.
Yeah, I feel like they saw my review last week, and they're like, "Oh yeah, let's shut this fucker up."
I think I probably should have started. I probably should have started with you, Josh, because you were the one that has been somewhat off on the show this season, right?
Yeah, it's been mostly lows for me during. Yeah, but I mean this is everything I love about The Mandalorian. And like I said, I may not like this season, but I love this show, and a lot of the greatest shows out there have some bad seasons, like some seasons that people didn't really like that much. But this episode, I had a hard time recovering. I really did. There was just so much greatness from the beginning to the end. I love everything they're doing with Bo-Katan. I think everything they're doing is earned, especially if you've seen everything from Clone Wars and Rebels. And even if you haven't seen that, I feel like it's still earned, even with her narrative in the show of season 2 and now season 3. And then Moff Gideon. We got Moff Gideon back. He's in that suit. That
returns to being a badass again. Yeah,
absolutely. And I loved it. I think this episode is the best episode of the season by far, and it makes me extremely excited for the season finale next week.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be fucking great. And then they turned the old droid into a suit for Grogu, which was. I mean, it was definitely some great comic relief and much needed. Because
I'm happy they didn't bring.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm happy they didn't bring. IG-11 was his name, right? I'm happy
now
they didn't bring him back. And now he's IG-12, and that's perfect because I was worried when they kind of like hinted that they were trying to bring him back. I think it was in the first episode. I was like, that kind of you're pulling a Marvel right now. Like this is a meaningful death that had a big impact. Exactly, but it's almost. Poetic, because in season 1, IG-11 was protecting Grogu, and in a way, he's still protecting Grogu. It's almost this poetic beauty to it. Maybe I'm just looking way too hard into it, and maybe I like it too much.
A little bit, but it's justified.
It's just something, something poetic about it. But I loved everything with that. Yes, no, and when he stops the two Mandalorian when they're fighting and.
No.
Yeah, it's great. It's definitely it's funny because usually on Wednesdays early as hell I'll see that, reviews kind of the episode, people usually complaining about it, like, oh, the show, blah, 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 what are they doing? And then there's like the counter things where it's like, I don't care about what people are saying, I'm enjoying this show. It's like, the back and forth. And there was like surprisingly quiet about today's episode. Yeah, so I was a little put off by that. I was like, what I haven't heard anything about it. Now, I wasn't like on the internet as much as I normally am. I had other stuff to do, but even still, just briefly scrolling, I usually see it every single time. So I was surprised, and I sat down to watch it, and it was as good as the episode was. It's kind of weird that it's not like doesn't seem to be getting the notoriety that it deserves because it's answering a lot of questions and filling in a lot of things that people have had concerns about the show this entire season of where is this all going? You don't really know what you're doing. And it's like just one episode kind of just answered all of it. Like, hey, why don't you just wait till the end of the show happens?
Josh.
The end of the season happens. Josh. Yeah. And maybe you'll get some answers instead of being like, oh, they didn't answer my question in 40 minutes about what's going to happen this season. What the hell? It's like, well, they told you. You just had to wait a couple more episodes. And like, again, that's not the greatest of storytelling because
no, I don't think they should have waited to the second to last episode to do that. Yeah. That is there's the only con I'll say about it. But
it feels like this again, and this goes to my point where no one really knows how to put together shows properly yet. It's still a working formula. Like if you included that, I know they wanted to save Moff Gideon for like later to be revealed, but if you had put that 3 episodes ago, I feel like a lot of people would have been like, oh, okay, I know what's happening now.
Yeah,
like he's back, and that girl that's why that girl did that to the
doctor,
the Republic worker.
Yeah, I love how they tied that in. Yep.
Yeah. So it's like if you had just shown that, I mean, it's a show, you could have put that scene in at any time. It has no real relevance to, I mean, other than the fact that they had to catch the Mandalorian slipping, but you could have chopped that up, you know what I mean? You could have shown her communicating with him earlier in the season, and that would have brought a little bit more balance because you know where everything's going and ties it up. So there's a couple problems with it, but overall I've been pumped for it. I've loved it since the beginning. What were you saying?
But now looking at the obviously with the New Republic pilot who found the vessel, now there's that whole other little twist in there because obviously he knows that it was attacked and he knows it was an extraction, and he finds Mandalorian steel inside. So now they're thinking, obviously he's thinking the Mandalorians are the one that went and
that's right.
extracted Moff Gideon when it really was not.
Really wasn't. So
I know, like it's, but nobody else knows.
Right? Yeah.
It's really like this actually could tie together the whole like. So again, it's weird because I keep forgetting the timeline. So this all happens after. This is obviously after
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi, but before The Force Awakens.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. I want to say this is like five years after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. They're still dealing with the fall of the Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, it's weird because they're kind of setting themselves on this weird loop because, you know, all the events of Force Awakens with the First Order is what this little like new empire, I forget what they called it at the end of this episode, but is this going to like transition into the First Order? Or is the First Order
that's what they're hinting at faction? Because General Hux, his father, I believe is his father, because they have the same name and the timeline would add up right, is like involved in it. So I feel like that's what they're hinting at, that they're tying it in, which like so much of me really wants to just ignore the sequels, obviously, but I do think it is the best thing for them to do is not to ignore them, because there's so much story you told, whether I like it or not. There's so much that you told, to ignore it seems just like a bad call. So I like that they have these tie-ins, and not only from the sequels but from the prequels. Like they tie everything in, and I think that's important that they keep doing that.
Yeah, and it's again like you said, if I like it or not, it's happening, and I'm glad that they're at least making it cohesive, because I feel like if you throw in a wrench with like the fact if they just try to erase it or sidestep it, it's going to be like, well, now you're just confusing everything.
Yeah,
what's canon and what's not, and that's always the worst thing. So it's weird. I do like everything being wrapped up by a movie. Yeah. So to continue what they were saying, that there will be a Mandalorian movie that will tie up Ahsoka, the Mandalorian, and Boba Fett, which is, I don't know why we really needed to tie up Boba Fett.
Yeah, because I think they're done.
You can leave that one away. They're like, oh, and Boba Fett's here too. And you're like, okay, cool.
I mean, he's still technically a Mandalorian.
He still technically is.
No, he is. And it's funny, I always think, ever since they made that announcement, I think of the Endgame scene with the Avengers Assemble. Like, I think of that, but it's just all the Mandalorian and, like, Ahsoka and the Rebels characters. And then they're all going to Thrawn instead of Thanos. Like, that's just my mind goes to. But I think that's a great idea that they're doing, putting it in the movie. I mean, it's gonna make a ton of money.
Oh,
you
my
have
God, yeah.
this huge fan base, and again, like we talked about before, people who aren't even really into Star Wars but got into the Mandalorian a lot because of Grogu. But you have this whole new fan base that you're gonna bring to the box office now. I mean, this movie's gonna make a ton of money, all the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I'm slightly worried about a little bit, which I don't want to be worried, but in the past it showed us, you know, that when they get a little too full of themselves, some of the worst things come out because they're just like, oh, you all like Star Wars? Well, get ready for it, because now we got 6 new shows and 12 new movies announced, and it's like, okay, all right. Well, I don't want that much, because then you start attaching people who don't have the same care of like Filoni and Favreau and people who like really care about it and are really passionate and making good quality. You just go, well, we need 8 showrunners and we need 6 directors, so just go find some that can, you know, make these movies and stuff. And it's like, that's not the way to do it. Slow down. Just bring it back. Like, you saw what happened, what works and what doesn't, and now hone that what works. We don't need 18 movies and 57 shows, because as you can see what's happening with Marvel right now, it's kind of, people are kind of not really caring. No one really cares anymore because it's so much. I mean, and I'm speaking for, you know, I'm part of a fan base that loved Marvel, but just right now I just don't care. There's so much that it's so watered down, and it's like, I don't really care right now.
Yeah, I am.
I'll catch up with it later.
I do have to like play it safe and not get too hopeful, because Kathleen Kennedy has let me down a lot since they have taken over Star Wars from George Lucas. I mean, there's been some great wins, don't get me wrong. I mean, we still got I still think Force Awakens is a great Star Wars movie. I still I loved Rogue One. We still got Mandalorian. I loved Rogue One,
and I loved Solo too.
And I enjoyed Solo. I didn't love it, but I did enjoy Solo. I didn't hate it. I know there's a huge like fan base of Star Wars that hates that movie, and I don't hate it. You know, I just didn't love it, and I didn't think we needed it.
I think the hate comes from, honestly, I think the majority of the hate, it's like when you eat if you take a bite of a bite of a bad apple, and then you take the first bite is terrible, or let's say the first bite's okay, and then you're expecting the rest of it to be good. You take a second bite of the apple and it's raw, and it's you don't like the taste of it, and then you flip the apple over and take a third bite, and even though that third bite isn't that bad, you still have the bad taste of the rotten apple in your mouth from the first time. So it just goes, oh, you know, I didn't really care for that, but it sucks because I hate all of this right now. And that's the metaphor, is like Force Awakens was good. The fucking Last Jedi, you either loved it or hated it. It's very divisive. So if you hated it when Solo came out and you didn't really you didn't think, you know, it wasn't as good as you might have thought it might have been, it gets dragged down because you're already upset with how much you don't like that product. So you just think everything sucks now.
Yeah.
And then rolling into Rise of Skywalker, if you didn't like Last Jedi, you're not going to like Rise of Skywalker.
No, you're not.
If you don't like, it's a package bundle. I think if you don't like those, you really don't like it. So it's like it came out in a time that was just bad. Like, it just wasn't a good time to be not doing something in an A tier Star Wars movie. You know, if it's a B or C, it's going to get dragged down because of if you didn't like it. If you loved Last Jedi, you might have loved Solo, but it got drowned out by the amount of people that didn't like it. And it's, I don't know. I'm
it's a shame.
I'm more optimistic than pessimistic on it, which is better, because normally I'm the other way. Normally I'm like, we'll see. But I'm a little more hopeful that maybe they learned their lesson by taking their punches with the series so far. But
rebellions were built on hope.
Good one. We will return to a galaxy far, far away in a couple more topics, but we also got, which was, is it because it's Indiana Jones's Lucasfilm?
Yeah,
correct. Yes,
I don't
so that's
think
why they kind of dropped
that. By the way, but
they dropped the Indiana Jones trailer like right after the Ahsoka trailer. Like, And I only saw it because I was on YouTube and I saw the trailer pop up, which is like, that never happens. Usually it's on like, because when I sent it to our group, I don't think you guys hadn't seen it, and it was out for an hour and a half, so it was very strange. And the trailer, like, I believe I was like lukewarm on this Indiana Jones movie, like a little, like, yeah, this is cool, I'm okay with it. I saw this trailer, I am fucking pumped. Like,
yes,
God, I just watched this trailer again today because holy crap, what a great, like, it just looks like they picked up where Last Crusade left off.
Yeah,
like, again, the metaphor with the rotten apple leaving God, what's the name of that
Crystal Skull
one there? Crystal Skull behind. This one seems to have like completely gone back to the roots.
Yeah.
And I think Toke, you're probably our resident Indiana Jones super fan here. What did you think about it?
Dude, this trailer was just like brought me back to childhood. It was fucking Indiana Jones in raw form, and it was fucking beautiful. Watching him just jump on a fucking horse and running through a subway, a fucking subway with a horse. Like, come on,
doing
this is
indie
awesome.
shit.
Doing indie shit.
Doing indie shit.
Indie shit, doing indie shit. You get to see Sala again. Dude, and the amount of Mads Mikkelsen you get to see in this fucking trailer, he is going to be a fucking phenomenal villain in this fucking movie.
Oh, yeah, he was born for it.
And I can't fucking wait. This movie is it just looks epic. Fucking epic. And I think it's going to make a fucking killing this summer.
Yeah, I really do too. It definitely looks like a summer blockbuster film. The trailer is incredible. It brings you back to childhood, which is like a Hollywood theme. That's where they really get you. If they can make you feel that nostalgia, they know it's going to get you in that seat. Yeah, you're going to get our money. Oh, yeah. But it doesn't seem like the kind of thing that it's milking the franchise, you know? And Harrison Ford is not talking lightly about this movie. Like, he really likes this movie, and he has said multiple times, this is the last one. This is the last one they're doing. Which I think, you know, this film should have been made maybe a while ago. But I digress. They're doing it now.
No, it's
and I mean, obviously, there's just the technology they're using in it.
Oh God,
we'll call it the de-aging. I mean, Mads Mikkelsen, they definitely used de-aging on him, and it looks fucking great. But the de-aging, which again in the quotes, we're gonna use on Harrison Ford for Indy. I watched an interview with Harrison Ford on one of the talk shows, and he was talking about it. It says, "Yeah, it's actually me." They used clips, they used footage of me from old indie movies and other movies, and that's what they put on this.
Yeah,
and it's like
it looks
so
it's like a blend.
Good.
Yeah, it's a blend of both
really
for
good.
sure. Yeah, which is a great way to do it, and I think that's when you get the best results. Yeah, I think the CGI de-aging on him looks it's some of the best. Now, I will say a lot of it isn't in like broad daylight, which I think would be more impressive. Not to take away by how impressive it already looks, but I do think that there's a lot of it was in dark scenes, which kind of like makes the CGI de-aging look better. But I do think we're peaking out on the CGI de-aging thing. We really are. We're getting real close to it just being I can't tell, you know, because I'm sure they still haven't got the mouth down. I feel like every time I see CGI, there's something with it. It ain't doing what it should be doing.
The upper lip moves too much like this, and it's very strange. It's it's always the upper lip.
But man, we're getting there. We're getting there to the point where you can just CGI anybody, which is scary, a little scary, but it's also kind of cool to the actors who want to like sell their likeness to companies. Like, yeah, you can still use me even when I'm dead. Somebody did that recently. I think it was Bruce Willis.
Yeah. No, they said that he should.
Oh, that
it was
should?
So the woman that plays Bo-Katan said that they
Katie
can use
Sackhoff
her.
That's who it was. Yep. Yeah, and that's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's the science too behind it too is like you can get someone who looks kind of like them and who's like a decent enough actor, and then kind of deep fake their face to looking like. There's the guy that does the Tom Cruise, and he looks just like Tom Cruise.
Deep fake Tom Cruise,
like the TikToks. Yeah, and it's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're in a great place where you can bring some of these older actors back.
Yeah.
To bring back that, nostalgia feel to it. And again, this doesn't, like you said, it doesn't feel like a nostalgia bait at all.
No,
it doesn't feel like they're just kind of going like, oh, remember when he did the thing, or like, remember, oh, here's a ball, or oh, I hate snakes. Like it doesn't feel like you're just saying lines that people go, oh, I know that line. Like they're actually, it looks like a continuation of the story, and it looks great. It just looks fantastic. It looks like a great ride. And Harrison Ford really talking it up is.
That's huge.
Not normal of him to do too. Usually he makes a movie and he's like, yeah, let's go see it.
Yeah. Even when Force Awakens was coming out, like he seemed kind of a little more excited than he usually did, but even then it wasn't to the level that I'm seeing him talk about this film. I do want to circle back to like what I said right in the beginning, though. I do think it's super weird that they debuted this trailer at Star Wars Celebration. They did that at the last Star Wars Celebration. They did the announcement of it. And I just I understand it's Lucasfilm, but it just seems odd because it's not Star Wars. It seems like it's a weird place to debut it. But it was nice to get in the midst of all the other stuff that we were getting that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, we talked a lot about Star Wars, so I will circle around to the Marvels trailer. Also was announced, I think that was, 2 days ago?
Yesterday.
Not involving... Yesterday, okay, yesterday. I'll say that I didn't even care at all.
Uh-huh.
Then you put it in the show doc, and I was like, well, begrudgingly now I gotta watch the trailer. But I actually kind of liked it. I kind of enjoyed it. I think it's a good spin on things. I'm not the biggest Brie Larson fan. I'm not the biggest Brie Larson hater. I just think she's meh. She's very mid. I don't really care for her impression of Carol Danvers. I don't really know if she's supposed to be that dry and kind of boring of a character, but I don't know. I just meh. And I didn't really watch Miss Marvel. So this movie should not really appeal to me at all because I just don't care about this part of the Marvel franchise, especially where I don't really care for Miss Marvel in general. I think that, or Captain Marvel, I think that she's kind of an OP throwaway character who only seems to be not as powerful when she needs to be. Like getting bodied by Scarlet Witch in Doctor Strange 2 was very odd that one of the most powerful characters ever gets bodied real quick. But that aside, I was in on the trailer. I like it. I think it looks fun that, when they use their powers, they get kind of jumbled up, and it kind of seems like a fun ride of a movie. Now, again, my expectations are kind of low for it, but I'm on the side of I enjoyed it, and I will probably check it out. Awesome. Josh, what are your thoughts on it?
I did watch Ms. Marvel, and I actually found it pleasant. I wasn't like out of my mind about it. I wasn't like, oh, this show's crazy, but I enjoyed it, and I've actually watched it quite a few times. My daughter enjoys watching it, but I like the character of Kamala Khan a lot, and I'm telling you, mark my words. Ginty, did you see Ms. Marvel?
Mm-hmm.
You did? Mark my words, that girl is going to steal this movie. Her charisma, her acting, she's such a lovable character. She is going to steal this movie for sure. And I enjoyed Captain Marvel. I remember when Captain Marvel came out, and there was a lot of pushback because Brie Larson was out there saying some wild shit before that movie came out about white males and their reviews on her movies. Won't get into all that right now, but I actually ended up enjoying Captain Marvel. And I do enjoy Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. And I didn't think I would because of a lot of the comments before the movie, which I guess is unfair, but I still gave Captain Marvel a chance, and I'm glad I did. I've seen it A lot of times, yeah. I really enjoy it. I enjoy her in Endgame. I like seeing her interact with other characters in the MCU. I love her relationship with Nick Fury. Yeah, so her, Kamala Khan. I'm not big on Natasha Rambeau. She's, I don't know. I have a lot of problems with that character. In
Monica Rambeau?
Is that who it is? Oh, it's Monica who's the
Monica.
daughter, right? Okay, Monica Rambeau.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the character in the comics, but I didn't really dig the character arc in WandaVision. So I don't really care for her much, but we'll see. And yeah, the
character arc. She had an arc.
A bit of an arc, yeah, towards the end there, or tried to.
It was more
yeah,
like
yeah, exactly, like a fucking took off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, the trailer was great. I am excited for it, and I did like a lot how the whole concept of every time they use their powers that they switch bodies, which is kind of going back and explaining the post-credit scene of Ms. Marvel, where all of a sudden Ms. Marvel turns into Captain Marvel, and you're kind of like, oh, what's going on? And this put a little more explanation into it, and just seeing them use that while they're fighting, I think is going to be an incredible dynamic.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I'm the same way. So yes, I did watch Miss Marvel, and like you, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Again, you got to put yourself in a mindset. They're kids. They're teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Young teenagers at that. And her character, man, Kamala Khan she's just very bubbly and just excited about every little thing that she does. It's fun watching her evolve as a character. And then the trailer, obviously watching the ultimate switch where Monica Rambeau goes and they swap places, and now she's floating in space, and then
Yeah.
Nick Fury, hi! And I literally like almost spit my coffee out laughing the second that happened. I was like, oh my god.
It's
like,
great that she's a fan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she's
Yes.
us. She's us if we
Yes.
got superpowers. Like, kind of like Peter Parker. Her and Peter Parker are like,
Yes.
oh man, I want to see them together so bad. But they're very much alike.
Yeah.
They're literally, she's such a fan. And then even the actress who plays her is such a fan of the MCU.
Yeah.
And yeah, I absolutely love that character.
And the whole dynamic of them switching, not even bodies, but switching positions. Like all of a sudden, boom, teleporting into each other's spots. And then, obviously, I also was a fan of Captain Marvel. Like, obviously, yeah, all the Brie Larson stuff, whatever. I really liked the movie and have seen it a bunch of times. And again, like you, I love the dynamic that she has with Nick Fury.
Yeah.
And it's fun to watch the two of them interact. It's great. And I was excited to see the Flurkin kitty.
Oh yeah, seeing the Flurkin back.
Gotta see the Flurkin kitty.
Now, was there like a bunch of them in the part of that trailer?
Yes, there was a bunch of them.
So crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, this movie's very cosmic. It looks like a lot of it's out in space. Because I believe that's where the base is of Sword. I think it's called Sword. Is the acronym for like the new
shield.
New shield, yeah.
New shield. The opposite of shield, like attacking instead of defending.
Yeah.
I get that play on words.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a big hit. I really do.
Yeah, this one's looking good. We'll see.
Speaking of looking good, I was just distracted because I didn't realize that there was a trailer for The Continental, which is in the world of John Wick. It's coming to Peacock. It's a 3-part
series
episodes, 3-part series episode. So I don't imagine that they'd be that long or that. I don't know. I mean, maybe like 1.5 hour long episodes or something. Which
How long is the trailer
been out? I don't know.
I did not know there was a trailer, and I wish I did.
Oh, you didn't see the trailer?
No, I didn't know there was a trailer. I just saw the article title, and I just sent it to you guys because I thought...
and then I clicked on it, and then, look, there's a trailer. watch it.
Tell you guys, I've been slacking this week.
Yeah.
Slacking.
I didn't-
even
hey,
open the fucking
I didn't
thing.
know till
Because the best
I
part
didn't
was
know
your
till just now.
yeah, because your comment on that thing was just like, did you not read the article or watch the trailer? Because everything you just said is explained by the article and the trailer.
Yeah.
No, I think you missed what my problem was in the title.
No, well, no, I got what you're saying, but still,
I was so excited because I saw the Continental. I'm like, oh, they're doing the show and it's arriving on Peacock, and I was like, what? It's arriving on what?
See, I have Peacock because I love The Office so much that I had to go
That's
get it.
That's exactly why I have Peacock too.
I got
Peacock's
free.
Peacock's actually not that bad. I actually kind of enjoy some.
How
of the
are
stuff
their
we watch,
original shows though?
Their originals are okay. They're better than I would say. Yeah, it's
so that's what made me nervous.
They came out the gate and had a bunch of good ones, and you can tell they launched it and had a few like really good. Like they had Under the Banner of Heaven with
Andrew Garfield.
I can't think of
I
his
got a
name.
couple episodes into that. Yep.
That was really good. It's slow, but overall,
well, that's
I
an
enjoyed
FX
it.
show though.
Yeah. So, but it was so was that on Hulu, not Peacock?
No,
Or-
I think it was. I think you're right. I think it was on Peacock. I think Peacock was showing it, but that was an FX show.
Okay. All right. So then, yeah. I mean, Peacock's in a position where they can grab that audience of people that like Law and Order and SVU and like Blue Bloods and all those daytime TV
30
shows
Rock
are on
and,
there.
The
So they can just put them on there, and people are just gonna grab that and watch that, and it's $5 a month. I mean, it's not
super
that bad.
cheap, super cheap.
Yeah, and I enjoy it because you can Sunday Night Football's on there for free, so it's like $5 a month, and you get a football game every week, and there's hockey games, there's basketball games. It's not bad. It's a pretty good streaming service.
Oh, I thought I had it for free. I don't know. I think I have it with my cable.
Yeah, a lot of people. If you have Xfinity, I think you get it for free.
Yeah.
There's an ad. You better sponsor us.
So maybe I don't know much about it. I don't know. I didn't read too much into it. Obviously Josh didn't too much either.
Yeah,
so
it's an origin of the Continental Hotel. And this has been in talks for a very long time, but I never heard anything about it landing on anything. And obviously, I was just hoping it would like go towards like HBO, even though they clearly have their plate full right now. But Peacock was just not the name I wanted to hear attached to it. But again, I haven't heard anything about their originals, and maybe this is like the start, making a name for themselves, and then it won't be $5 a month anymore. But I gotta say that it kind of put a little bit of a damper on my excitement for the show.
Yeah. See, I thought you were a little upset because Mel Gibson's in it.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson's in it.
So I thought.
No, we're not.
Is.
Mel Gibson is in the Continental. Yes, he is.
I'm looking at it right now. Do I have to flip this to my screen?
Mel Gibson is in the Continental.
I'll show you the screen. You look
Mel
it up
Gibson,
right now.
like the actor.
Yes.
The actor, director. Braveheart.
And director.
Yes, he is.
Yes. Yeah. So the show is based on the origin of the Continental. It takes place in the 70s.
Yep, that I knew.
So that's
Mel Gibson.
Basically, it was Mel Gibson.
All right, hold on, guys. You're telling me Peacock casted Mel Gibson, the actor and director, the guy from Braveheart, What Women Want, directed
Lethal
Passion
Weapon.
of the
1,
Christ.
2, 3, 4.
I'll show you the
Apocalypto.
Here he is right here.
You're telling me he's in?
Here he is. Can you see that?
Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, Mel Gibson in the.
That's Mel Gibson.
That is him.
All right,
now,
fuck everything I just said. Everything I just said. They got, not only do they have the money to pay Mel Gibson to be in this show on Peacock, they showed Mel Gibson from Braveheart a script, and he said, yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah. So,
well,
man.
When's it come out? What day?
September 2023.
Because I'm watching it
September.
first day.
September. No actual release date yet. Just September 23. So.
All right.
Yeah. We have like breaking news on this podcast, which is wild, especially since you put it in the doc.
I know.
Didn't read anything about
It's been a rough fucking week, man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay.
Okay. So
it's crazy.
we'll bring this back. We'll bring this to the end with another long-winded chat about Star Wars, because we got two updates that came out of two other updates, which is like past and future. So the series right now is bookended. Yep. First, we had, which is probably the less of the divisive news, is James Mangold is directing a Star Wars movie about the dawn of the Force. So like pre Knights of the Old Republic, which is awesome because I honestly I had to go back and look up some of his movies. And he's might be on a short list of my favorite directors now, and I never even noticed it. I mean, Logan, this new Indiana Jones movie, Ford vs. Ferrari, which I fucking loved. Yeah, 310 to Yuma, movie. Which should have been on my top 100, but I missed it completely.
Fucking whoops.
Whoops. Yeah, just a whoopsie do.
Hey, you can make an honorable mentions video.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I did, but a second one,
and it didn't make it all that shit either.
It didn't make it on that one either. I didn't know until I was well into the 60s.
Yeah,
but no, I don't know how much other stuff, Josh, you might be familiar with. How much more information about the movie?
That's really it. It was
released, but just basically it.
Yeah, it was very tight. It was just like James Mangold's directing a Star Wars movie. Boom! It's the dawn of the Force. Predates the Old Republic and the High Republic as well.
And the Galactic. It says what 25,000 years before the Galactic Empire.
Yeah, uncharted territory. That's the most exciting thing about this. I mean, we're so far away from the prequels, the original trilogy, and the sequels. Like, you guys can do anything you want. Anything.
Somehow Palpatine has returned.
And somehow...
Somehow Palpatine is he's not back because he's always been here. He's like god of...
There's a few of them.
I swear to God, if they even say the word Skywalker, I'm leaving the movie.
Yeah, they say Sky, I'm just leaving. Won't even get to the
What's the title going to be? It's going to start. It's going to be like a very, 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 very long time ago in a galaxy so fucking far away.
No one even knew about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the first person to use the Force, just one day, just like, I wish I could take that rocket. Oh fuck! Just like, I don't even know what to see that. Like,
I don't even know what to expect. Like, when did they even start making the lightsabers with the cord and the backpack? Wasn't that pre Knights of the Old Republic?
Or was that Knights of the Old Republic?
No, I think Knights of the Old Republic had They had lightsabers.
They did, but didn't we also see...
In KOTOR, you have lightsabers.
Okay.
But, yeah, so if we get to see those, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
The fucking backpack lightsabers. Yeah,
I want to see anything. They can literally do anything. It's so crazy how open it is for them. And that's... There cannot be lazy writing when you're doing something like this. You just can't. You're talking about not the creation, but somebody's finding the Force and being able to it can't be lazy. You have to be on your P's and Q's. But you have James Mangold, and I trust him. I trust James Mangold. He's not going to direct a shit script. He's just not going to do it.
So then fast forward 25,000 years. And we get a movie announced for Daisy Ridley I don't know if she's starring in it. They didn't really say. They just said she's returning for a new movie.
As Rey.
So the timeline doesn't make sense for anything to do with the Mandalorian.
No, and it said it was going to be about her trying to bring back the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
So I do think she is starring in it. Yeah. I do think that's the route they're going.
It's 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker. And it's something about her trying to create a whole new Jedi Order and having her own temple, but she is a Jedi Master trying to teach younglings and Padawans how to use the Force and become Jedi.
Which is a bold move, Cotton. Like, just a bold move to be like, hey,
bold.
let's take probably the most hated thing of Star Wars and go into the future where, like, oh boy, I don't know. I don't hate it because I don't hate it yet, but I already hate it. It's like you have this train that's coming along, and up ahead, I'm full of the metaphors. Here's the train. You're on a train that's like, it's chugging. It's going pretty well. It's not cruising, but it's going. In the Mandalorian and this Ahsoka show and Book of Boba Fett. So that's what's making it wobbly. But you have this show that's this train that's kind of chugging along. It's picking up steam, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Up ahead, there's a train wreck. Like, the train fell off the tracks. It completely derailed. It's on fire. Everyone's dead. And you have this opportunity to, like, kind of fix they're fixing the track as it goes. So you have this chance to, like, pass by and be like, don't worry, everything's fine. It's still chugging along. And then you just jump further ahead on the track and go, let's just put a train down here and after this crap and try and, like, just keep going with it.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you screw up this movie, now you just fucked the whole story up again for another 15 years. Like, if nobody likes the story that you make from Rey doing all this bullshit, the self-proclaimed Jedi Master she is now, because the council did not grant her rank of Master. There's no council, so she's just calling herself Master now. Is that what's going on?
A new Jedi Order.
New Jedi. So, like, if you have a heap of shit, you're just like, what are you gonna do now? Like, you're gonna paint yourself into this corner where all these things you're gonna say are canon now for another 15 years. What if it's crap? Like, well, I don't know. Nah. It's very bold to do this.
I get it. I mean, like it or not, Rey, Daisy Ridley, was a very successful character for Star Wars. Plain and simple. She brought in the fan base. She's got a huge fan base.
She does have a huge fan base.
Huge fan base for her character, and it brought in, and it's all new fans that were never really big into Star Wars that now love Star Wars because the main person is a female. And you know what?
I just don't.
I don't
think that's necessarily true. I think if you're going to see people dressed up like a princess, it's not going to be Rey. It's going to be still Princess Leia. I don't think that character's...
See a lot of girls dressed as Rey when you go to Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of girls dressed as Rey.
But that's the thing. That's the thing we got to remember, right? The Star Wars fan base is, I believe, the biggest fan base, period. Like, so much so that there is a huge Rey fan base, and there's even equally, if not more, people that hate her. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the group of people that support Rey is enough for that character to be successful. That's how big the fan base is. You know what I mean? Because I'm more on Mike's side. I don't like the sequels. I like Force Awakens, but I don't like Rey. I don't like the character of Rey. This news does nothing for me. I think Daisy Ridley did great with the script that she was given.
What she was given.
And I loved her in Force Awakens, and I was intrigued in Force Awakens. I was like, yes, let's follow the character of Rey. But you're giving me this OP character who really just doesn't earn to the fans who are watching the movie the power that she has. We don't see it. It's never actually presented to us. We see the beginning of her training kind of with Luke, and then we see the super end of her training with Leia. It's like the fans don't actually get to see that get earned. Now, it comes down to whether or not you can buy that or not without seeing it. And there's some people who can buy it.
Yeah.
But I'm just in that group of people who cannot. I cannot buy it. It doesn't work for me. So to tell me you have this, this OP character who I don't think deserved the power that she's at, the most powerful Jedi we have ever seen, period.
By a long shot.
And you're just going to do the series and she's going to rebuild the Jedi Order. I'm just not interested. Not interested. If it comes out, people say it's fire. Sure, I'll go check it out. But I just don't care. I honestly feel like I don't even care to watch a trailer. I just don't. I don't care about this character.
No.
And I don't trust them doing anything that goes off of Rise of Skywalker. I just don't.
No. I mean, obviously, yeah. The way that she got the powers and was able to use them, I get it. But, I mean, the same can be said for Luke.
No,
I mean,
not even close.
No.
This argument, I've seen this argument a million times.
Just hear me out. Just hear me out.
Let's hear your part of this argument, because I've heard it. It's terrible.
So there is training. There is training involved, and you see him do some training with Obi-Wan. There ain't a whole lot of any training with Obi-Wan. There is not. And Yoda, there isn't a whole lot of training done with Yoda either. Who else can train him?
But here's the thing.
I mean,
he wasn't
force healing people.
Again, it was
just being like, I just made up this new power.
I understand that. I understand that. But I'm just saying. I mean, but Luke Skywalker, and to this point, we realize that Luke Skywalker is probably one of the most powerful Jedi that we have ever seen.
I disagree.
Going into this movie, I'm just saying in film. Just saying. For the not the wide spectrum of Star Wars, I'm saying in film, one of the most powerful Jedi that we've seen was at this point in the new sequels is Luke. Who else is sending a fucking Force ghost across the fucking galaxy?
That's true, but who else?
Who doesn't look like a
force healing people? Who also got beat up by Luke?
And look how old Luke is when he's doing that. He's training with Force ghosts. Let's not forget that. That's why he's at the point where he's at.
No, I understand, but I'm saying from the original trilogy, where did he get the power that he was able to do? It's like he didn't have a whole lot of training. But
are you talking about by the time Return of the Jedi came and he was dope?
Yeah.
But he wasn't
but there's
that
years that have
dope.
gone by.
I mean, he was. Oh, I shouldn't say it like that because he was dope. I mean, Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie, and because of Luke in that movie. But let me say, he wasn't even as good of a Jedi as Anakin Skywalker in Return of the Jedi. Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith was still a better, more powerful Jedi than Luke Skywalker.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know what 100%. I mean? And all of that is earned in years of
training.
Last Jedi Rey.
I'm sorry, by the way.
Last Jedi Rey beats Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Last Jedi Rey beats Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker, which
Absolutely.
is bonkers.
Yeah.
A year. She didn't know she had she didn't know she had force powers.
And she's checking into force powers that she shouldn't be able to. Shooting lightning out of your hand is not a Jedi power, it's a Sith power. How are you tapping into that so easily? You blew up a ship. You blew it up with your hands. You just blew the shit up.
No, it doesn't. I agree. You can explain it by there's a throwaway thing where they're like, oh, as all the Sith and Jedi are eliminated, you obtain their powers like some sort of weird Highlander.
Yeah, you can say anything you want.
They don't explain that. It's just it's just a throwaway line in the movie. It's not. If you built the whole trilogy around that premise, then yes, I could buy into her becoming so powerful she doesn't know what to do with her powers and shit. But you didn't do that. You just said, here's another power. And you need to heal this space worm. Here's that power. Oh, and you need to be just better at lightsabers combat than fucking Kylo Ren. Here's that power too. It's just handed. Everything's handed, and that's what doesn't feel earned. The character just feels it's like a Mary Sue, where there's no real struggle she goes through. She doesn't go through any sort of up and down. It
doesn't take any damage. That girl does not take a lick of damage.
She speed ran the Star Wars movies and just no hit damage.
And that's just such a shame.
That's why I don't.
Such a shame because they had everything they possibly needed to explain it. You can have Rey blowing up ships with her hand by the last movie. You can do it, but you got to explain it to me in Last Jedi. And you had the time to do that, but Rian Johnson had a different motive going in, where he wanted to subvert expectations, but that seemed to be his only goal in the movie, because Rian Johnson is a fantastic filmmaker. So him going off the rails because he's focused on this wrong thing is it's one of the saddest stories in the geek fandom. I feel like that should have been the best Star Wars movie we've ever seen when Rian Johnson was attached to do it, and it just Christ, I knew we were going to get here with all these Star Wars topics. I knew we were going to get here.
So needless to say, it's divisive, and it's not, like you said, Josh, it's not something that I really cared to see. I will buy in if I start hearing things of like, you know, once we start hearing more story beats and what it's basically about, more than just her running a bed and breakfast for future Force users. I don't know. It just, I feel like we got everything out of that story that we needed to. I don't know why they need to revisit it. I don't know what else because you're writing future tales when, again, like I said, it just, the Star Wars universe hasn't quite filled out. There's more stories to be told. I don't care about the Skywalker. I don't care about the Skywalker saga anymore. I just don't. We're done with it. Like, leave it alone. Leave it in the past. At least you can give props to Marvel for kind of moving past the Thanos thing. Mm-hmm. Like, they are establishing a new story with new characters. You know, they're not relying on the old people anymore. Like, there's like one or two of them. You know, you got Nick Fury and you got, maybe you could say the Hulk is hanging on.
Yeah, but Thor.
I mean, they're killing off the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're moving on from them. They're moving on to, like, you know, maybe Ant-Man and stuff. But
don't you say that?
I don't care.
It's time to, like, tell new stories.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to capitalize right now that everybody's really high on Star Wars. Maybe they're just trying to throw this in now. Like, okay, let's go. Green light it because people like it. So
yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. Anybody?
No, I think I'll do it. And Toke's looking over there, pretty prepped. I see some cups moving and some things shifting around.
Oh, yes.
You got a drink for us?
I do.
Is it drink of the week time?
It is drink of the week time. All right.
This is when you can play the music.
Josh has his own music. We're good. So I'm gonna go with a classic here. I'm gonna make a Tom Collins.
Ooh, it's one of my favorite drinks.
So I will make.
I didn't know that this.
Yeah.
I didn't know those are so popular on like the South and West Coast. Until
really?
we looked it up and I was like, what the fuck is a Tom Collins? It's like, oh, it's kind of like a lemonade
with gin.
Kind of. Yeah, lemonade with gin.
Never heard of
it. So yeah, you want to start out with 2 ounces of gin. I got a little measuring tool here.
You're not just gonna go for the dumper, the old.
Oh no, we're
the old dump and pray.
We're still gonna fucking change it. That's what, 1.5? No, we want more.
There you go. Atta girl.
Yeah, here we go. It wants 2.5 ounces of lemon juice. Yeah, that'll work. And 1.5 ounces of simple syrup.
Simple syrup.
Simple syrup. That's that bad boy right there. Half of that. And then give it a little shake.
Hey, look at that.
Perfect pour.
And then you're supposed to top it with soda water. I don't like soda water, so I'm going to give a little splash of squirt
What now?
Hey, now. We're going to get demonetized if you keep talking like that.
This is a children's podcast.
I'm going to give it a squirt of this squirt. And there you have it. The fucking Tom Collins.
Absolutely.
Tom Collins is great, especially for the weather we're having tomorrow. It's a perfect drink.
Fucking cheers, everybody.
80s.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be the 80s up here, Josh.
Really?
Yep.
Yep.
It smells delicious.
You smell delicious.
That is fucking refreshing.
It looked refreshing, honestly. I like the color of it.
Dude, that tastes like fucking lemonade.
Yeah?
Yep.
That's actually dangerous. That is dangerous.
Yeah, Tom Collins is one of my favorite drinks.
Tom Collins. I'm going to try that
Dude,
next time I go to the bar.
I'm making more of them bitches. That's actually the first time I've ever had a Tom Collins.
Really? Yeah, they're very good. It's like a less sweet lemonade with and the gin gives it like a good refreshing taste to it.
Oh, that had a nice little kick to it.
You can actually go just right to Market Basket and they sell like the pouches.
Yeah.
And all you do is you just throw the pouch in with like 2 ounces of gin. And I think it's like 2 ounces of gin and soda water. Yeah, like Sprite. So you just grab some Sprite and gin. The little pouch has all the mixed up lemon flavor and whatever else is in it. And then...
But if you want to add a little extra little hucka, telling you, try the squirt or try Fresca. That grapefruit soda adds a little extra little tartness to it that's gonna make it nice, a real nice little touch to it.
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right. Bring us home, Josh.
All right, that's all we got today on Personified Fandom episode 17. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. You can find me. I got an idea coming. I'm gonna drop on my channel, just a one-off video. So stay tuned for that. Mike, where can they find you?
I'm still at Dags Reviews. I just dropped a video with my girlfriend doing my top 4 films that she was part of too. It was a real fun time. Makes me want to start another podcast, but I won't. And I still have yet to. I got to drop that last top 10. I've just been so behind on shit. It's wild, but I will let you guys know when that's ready.
Oh yeah.
All right. And Toke, where can they find you drinking?
You can find me on TikTok for the time being. Toke.24_NR. Live every Friday, Saturday night, having a good time, shoot shit, come hang, have a couple of cocktails with me.
Yeah, and also check out the Personified Fandom TikTok. We're definitely going to be trying to push more videos through there soon, just trying to figure out the whole splitting long videos thing, but we'll get there. Be sure to check that stuff out, and yeah, until next time.
Oh,
hey, look at you. You made it to the end of the video. Well, if you like what you saw, be sure to hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe button. Should be over here, I hope. Also check out some of the other videos we have on the channel right over here.
Do it.
Click the video. Click the video. Dude,